Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for this moment of sympathy for ourselves, of empathy for ourselves, and care for ourselves. We choose to expand our awareness of these intentions to include the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this moment of clarity. We celebrate this moment of joy, and we allow the energy of fun and the experience of fun to come forward right now and to light up every single cell in our bodies right now. We allow all systems to enjoy the energy of fun and to work, to move, to secrete with perfect clarity, perfect peace, and recognizing that our bodies understand joy, that the world is full of joy right now. The birds aren't morose, the birds are happy, and we celebrate this energy that pervades the earth right now. We choose to focus on that. So let's just take in a breath. And if we could see the concept of fun, of this being where our attention goes, let's very simply just notice your attention going to the energy of fun, to children laughing, to birds being happy, to a dog being happy to see you, to a cat purring. We could just breathe into the sun shining, for rain to happen, answered prayers. If we could just breathe into all these things that are joyful. And if we could notice there might be a tug toward, like, I got to pay attention to, let's release what there is to pay attention to. Let's very simply focus on our own well-being and to focus on fun. So let's just very simply breathe in, and perhaps indeed just focusing on nature and recognizing that you are part of nature. And if we could let every bird that surrounds the space that you're in right now, if we could just feel into their presence, the fact that they're not stressed out, that they are just present, doing their tasks, communicating effortlessly, let's let them very simply communicate to you. Sparrows, crows, pigeons, hawks, falcons. Wonderful. We'll just breathe into that. And if we could notice in the quiet that communication requires, let's notice the peace in that quiet. And let's allow that quiet, that expanse, that peace to create more avenues for grounding. So more of us besides our feet are grounded. Let's notice your heart being grounded, your nervous system, including your spine, being grounded, your physical head, including your physical skull, being grounded, your hands being grounded, your tailbone being grounded, and you being surrounded with love. Let's just very simply breathe into all that. So if we could notice, there's a physical reality that includes you. There's a physical reality that loves you. There's a physical reality that you understand perfectly. So we'll just breathe into all that. And we'll let all that maintain, and we'll very simply add a layer of the Ascended Master Ganesh coming forward. Let's very simply let him, with his sweet energy, which might include a sweet scent, let's very simply just notice him coming forward to accentuate your grounding. For him indeed to remove any obstacle on any level, physical, emotional, mental, energetic. Let's let him very simply just move away those obstacles and just letting a really wonderful sense of grounding come forward. And if we could notice qualities, this is what he's focusing on, qualities being grounded. Let's notice the quality of harmony being grounded. Let's notice the experience and expectation of and awareness of fun being grounded right now. Let's notice support being grounded, not a concept, but an experience. And if we could feel with grounding, two simple truths: that the earth is naturally grounded and you are part of the earth. So it's simple. We could just breathe into the simplicity of grounding. And perhaps we could just let our next breath be very conscious, breathing in like it's our very first breath. And if we could notice the spiritual truth that the more grounded we are, the more tuned in we are. So it's very simply just take in a breath. And if we could notice Ganesh continuing his work, if we could notice once again his scent, which might be flower-like, his wording with some humor, with some sense of fun. Let's track his odor. So in your home, let's just take in a breath and notice his scent filling your odor. We're gonna use the word odor, filling your home, your structure. And it's like comical bug spray. Let's very simply notice this odor moving through and releasing any stress in the air, any stress in the atmosphere, and replacing it with a giggle, replacing it with joy, replacing it with fun. We could just breathe into all that. And let's notice that odor having reach, going to the far reaches of your structure, including garages, including storage spaces, including shared walls, shared entrances, depending on what your space is like. Let's very simply feel whatever the opposite of invasion is for you. So if we could just breathe in perhaps freedom and expansion, if we could feel not so much being hemmed in on or oppressed, let's feel the opposite, which is just space, 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 space. Let's just breathe into all that. And be this, okay, so Lady Ganesh, which might be the feminine aspect of Ganesh or a different guide, just notice what's true for you. Let's notice Lady Ganesh coming forward and doing the same, perhaps in a different direction and with a slightly different energy. And perhaps that energy connects deeply with not only nature, like we've done before, but also with children, animals, and letting the consciousness of children, of animals, be they present in your home or people who visit or the animals that are present with you. Let's very simply let that consciousness of mirth come up and connect with you. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. Wonderful. If we could notice the soundtrack to all this being your favorite John Lennon or Beatles song, and just noticing his presence being above all of this with a message of resounding joy and resounding celebration. And his message of that all he did, he and his friends did, was articulate happiness, articulate their experience, including fun. If we could just breathe into that. And perhaps just recognizing that the articulation of fun has already happened. So let's just breathe in and be it a song, one of theirs, one of his. Let's notice that being a soundtrack to this moment for you. And if we could feel all the joy that that song, those songs have brought, the levity, the healing, the expansion of thought, if we could let that same bigness come forward right now. Wonderful. And if we could notice the next thing, the next phase, if we could notice you being in the center of a horizontal triangle, which is Ganesh in a corner, Lady Ganesh in a corner, and John Lennon at the point. If we could just breathe in, and perhaps you facing John. He might just be light or energy. He might not be a form. If we could just breathe in and just feel that structure and you in the center of a pretty big triangle. Let's notice as we breathe in what colors come forward for you, what healing colors. And if we could notice about John that he's fine, he is well, he is light, he is radiant. If we could just breathe in, whether you see him, feel him, hear him, or know that he's there. And if we could feel with the unbelievable support coming from Ganesh and Lady Ganesh. Let's very simply focus on John and just notice what he communicates to you. Wonderful. If we could breathe in, and whatever this means to you, and let's perhaps let it have a lot of room. Let's let Ganesh, Lady Ganesh, John Lennon, and all the angels, your favorite angels, make everything better. Let's just take in a breath, and let's just say out loud, thank you all for your help. And let's say out loud, thank you for making everything better. Wonderful. If we could just breathe into that and let that happen, whatever that is. And we'll just breathe in. Perhaps if there's an anchor to this, it's focusing on breath. And being cognizant of the expanse that is here with these guides. Let's let that work continue as part of that work. Let's very simply let birds fly through you, perhaps including bald eagles, grand birds, big birds, herons, cranes, small birds, cardinals. Let's notice those birds adding as they fly through you. They give you something, they leave something with you. Wonderful. Let's let all that continue. If we could notice that there is a plane that you are on with Ganesh, Lady Ganesh, and John, right above that, which might be at ceiling height. The angels are present. Let's notice the angels singing a song for you, which might be the same John Lennon or Beatles song that was playing earlier. Let's very simply notice these things intertwining and becoming the same energy. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in and let that continue. And if we could take in, like being completely aware of something but not overwhelmed by it, if we could be completely aware that angels, a lot of angels, are helping you right now. They don't miss a thing. They're very precise. They work with love, and they're helping right this second, right this instant. So if we could breathe in and let that cognition come into you. Oh, the angels are helping. Oh, the angels are here. Let's just give them a lot of room. And let's breathe into the energy of companionship on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, energetic, spiritual. We could feel right now the companionship you have with everyone in this group, everyone on this call, everyone that you know, your entire spiritual community, and the other communities you belong to, artistic ones, cultural ones. And if we could come back and perhaps focus on Ganesh for a moment, like your best friend, and if we could feel him really honoring you and honoring all the contributions you make to the planet, all the contribution you make to life and the lives of everyone whom you know. We could breathe in and just feel that acknowledgement, that acceptance. And in that acknowledgement, if we could notice what grounds you even more, and that grounding opening up to an even grander sense of fun. And if we could notice the pleasure of connection being fun in itself. Great. With great precision, if we could let 10 of the angels above you really pristinely, like with into like specks of dust, clean and cleanse the energy around you, surrounding you with unconditional love. We could just breathe in and let them do that. So clearing away other people's energy, the energy of the atmosphere, the energy of America, letting that be cleared away, the energy of media, anything invasive. Let's very simply let all that just move away, and letting the angels surround you with even more happiness, even more mirth. And if we could let the angels' demonstrative love mingle and connect with Ganesh's lovely odor. So if we could feel your body, your space, the room that you're in, the entire structure you're in, the entire property you're on, your entire community being filled with loveliness with new sounds, new scents, and a sense of expansion and all of that. If we could just breathe in and let all that be. And if we can come back for a moment to connecting with the birds that surround you physically, whether you can hear them or not, let's just feel into them. Similar to being at the ocean and knowing that there's dolphin and whales out there that you may not see. If we can just breathe into that and just to feel into that connection with the birds, who indeed might be singing in the rain, being present, being connected, being very aware of what's happening, and providing lightness. So if we could just breathe into all that. And if we could, like a flash, recognize the birds are not confused. If we could just breathe into that and let that be our experience right now, your experience right now. Perfect clarity, perfect precision. And whatever this means to you, noticing that it's harmless for you to thrive. Only good comes from you thriving and feeling good. So let's release any idea of infringement based on your energy expanding, you feeling good. Just notice you're anchoring goodness. You're tapping into using all of yourself and being cared for, letting the world be big. If we could just breathe into all those different qualities. Wonderful. And if we could feel, once again, this big horizontal pyramid triangle, let's let the angels join you in that triangle, right around you. And if we could breathe in and let our entire focus go right now to syncing up with angelic energy, angelic presence, angelic love. And if we could just breathe into all this, and the wording they're giving, along with some visual, is ancient creatures. If we could notice creatures that might even be extinct from the planet, who loved being on the planet, coming forward and contributing their energy, their appreciation to this moment right now. Sea creatures, magical creatures. And if we could notice in how this is entirely personal for you, how the ancient creatures connect with the angels who are helping you right now. Wonderful. Let's just take in a breath. And let's take another breath like it's your first breath, being completely present with your breath. And we'll do that again, just being aware of air going into your body and the exhale that follows. Wonderful. And if we could feel Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Raziel, Archangel Uriel, all surrounding you, all praising you, all touching you, all healing you. If we could notice your body reaping up the good of that, and nothing about that being overwhelming, but being very pleasurable, even fun. Wonderful. And if we could notice the pleasure in being right where you are right now, the pleasure of this day, the pleasure of life, the pleasure of all there is that you do today, tasks, creativity, presence, great love. We'll just breathe into all of that and noticing how connected you are with the angels, with masters, with guides and goddesses. We could just breathe into all that, connected with birds and nature and trees and elements and water. Everything is here. Wonderful. If we can come back to Ganesh's odor, Ganesh's scent, and notice what is different or fresh to you about that right now. And if we could notice what no longer exists that might have existed 20 minutes ago. And if we could feel lightness surrounding you, an absence of having to negotiate with the energy of others, not having to negotiate with bad news or stressful news, but to feel present, to feel alive, to recognize the canon, like Shakespeare's canon, the canon of goodness that exists, the breadth of creativity that already exists on the planet, including John Lennon's work, including the paintings, books, songs, poems, architecture that you love and appreciate, the glory that is nature, and all the goodness that is here. If we could just breathe into all of this and feel it being like a ladder, like a foundation for you, that you already know how to utilize the films that you love, any writing you've done, any journaling, all that goodness, all that good. And just feeling the love that exists for you, the love that you have generated, and the love that is present for you in your next breath. And with all this greatness, all this glory, all this peace, we'll very simply notice the structure of the triangle, the horizontal triangle that you've been part of becoming vertical and duplicating itself. So there are vertical triangles all around you, around in the structure that you're in, on the property that you're on, in your community. This is trust no matter what the size, any triangle pyramid you see, and just let that be a reminder of what you're part of, like the hidden Mickeys at Disneyland or Disney World, that there's a code involving mirth and peace and love, and you're part of something, that you know the secret, which is joy, and you're able to tap into this energy of fun, which has a high vibration to it at any moment, no matter what is happening. And with this care and connection, with the angels being so close and so caring to us, we'll just breathe into that connection once again. And we'll say out loud, thank you, angels, for being with me always. Thank you, angels, for helping me with every part of my life. Thank you for helping my country be peaceful. Thank you for there being peace on earth. Wonderful. We'll just breathe into all that. And to the birds, to Ganesh and Lady Ganesh, to John Lennon, to all the angels, to indeed all of nature, and everyone we've called upon, everyone we've touched. We say to all these beings, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. And with generosity, we thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We thank as well the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for great goodness, for great peace, for great joy, and for the energy of fun. We choose to let fun be part of our day and choose to have a happy life no matter what the circumstances, and to let ourselves be ourselves, to let ourselves have the full breadth and width of our emotional worlds, our mental worlds, our physical reality, and our energy being big. We celebrate all this goodness right now, and we're so grateful to be so highly connected and to be loved and to be safe. And with generosity, peace, and care, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time, and so it is.